What's up you guys, it's Maciek from Goliath Off-Road coming at you with another video. As you may notice, this channel was dead for a little bit, but that's because we are finishing some of our new projects, and we have our new WJ and this beautiful maroon XJ that we're gonna show you guys all in the next videos. But for now, let's move on to the main point of this video, which is this Lexus GX470. And today what we're gonna do to it is lift it and make it look badass. What you see here is basically everything to completely overhaul the suspension on our Lexus. So let's start with the wheels. For the wheels we have those nice Falcon Wildpeak 83Ws in 33-inch size. We like those tires a lot, and they are mounted on OEM TRD Pro wheels. I love the styling of those wheels, and the matte finish really goes nicely with the whole theme of the car. Next, Radflow coilovers and rear shocks, Camberg upper control arms, bunch of goodies from Toyota and Icon, lower control arms, axle shafts, wheel hubs, splash guards, front and rear bump stops, and of course Dobinson coil springs. Our build wouldn't be complete without the brakes, so for that we have a bunch of badass parts from L1 Concepts and StopTech. So let me walk you through it. Right here we have the front and rear rotors, and these are actually rotors for the GX460 along with the calipers, so it's like a big brake upgrade. And then we have ceramic brake pads from L1 Concepts and those awesome brake lines from StopTech. First things first, we have to get this thing in the air and start removing the wheels and tackle the front suspension. Now that we have all the brakes out of the way, we can focus on removing lower control arms, upper control arms, steering components, and taking off this spindle. As you guys saw on time lapse, we gutted everything to the bare frame, and by the way, look at that frame. There is not a speck of rust here. We just clean it up a little bit so it's not rusty, and right now we are ready to slap all the shiny goodies on there. So let's get it done. So speaking of shiny parts, well, here they are. So what we got here is front Radflow 2.5 extended travel coilovers, rear shocks. These are also from Radflow. Also 2.5 and actually custom made for us. These are true long travel. Here we have tie rod sleeves, and these are nice upgrade. They are stainless steel. I like them a lot. Bump stops, these are a little bit longer than stock, and they are polyurethane, so they're gonna last a lot longer. New tie rod ends, upper control arms from Camberg, lower control arms, wheel hubs, and a bunch of brake parts. Also, this part right here is a Toyota OEM diff mount, and we're gonna replace this because the stock diff mount from the GX470 likes to break, and this is actually a common issue. So we're gonna address this and install this new part. And there's some splash guards that we got to protect our engine and axle shafts. Also over here we have all the parts that we ripped off from the car, and they are basically scrap, except this little part right here that we're gonna reuse on our new lower control arms. So let's get to it. suspension starts to take shape, we installed lower control arms, slide in the axle shaft, and install the rod flow coilover. So now everything that's left is just a knuckle, upper control arm, and the brake stuff. The upper control arms from Hamburg, they come disassembled, so they require a little bit of assembly. We just need to press those polyurethane bushings and install the sleeves and those dust caps. And I'm gonna do this before we move on to the installation. Okay, now that everything is greased, we can install this dust cap and move on to the next one, and then install both of them on the car. Right now we installed everything on the front suspension, so the knuckle is in, upper control arm is in, and the last thing to do is this tire dent and brakes. So right now I already installed this rotor and I'm installing the caliper, and other than this the only thing left is the brake line. Then we can move to the other side, repeat everything that we did here, and move on to the back. Hey guys, it's actually the next day here. Yesterday when we were finishing this side, it got pretty late on us, so we decided to call a day and come back the next day. So right now officially the front is all done, everything is torqued to spec, everything is marked, so we can move on to the back. The back is pretty straightforward, being a straight axle, so we're not gonna show you all the disassembly in detail. We're just gonna put some footage from that, and then I will show you all the parts we have for the back and start slapping them on. So little update on the back. We removed everything that we need to install the leaf kit. Also, as you can see, we went ahead and installed the brakes. So that's just because we don't want the fluid all over our new parts. So what we did is install those braided lines over here to the axle. Then we did change those lines to the calipers, change the brakes, and install new rotors. So next thing, I can show you guys all the stuff that we have, and let's get to the fun part. So what we have here is all the parts that we will install on the back. So the shocks I showed you guys before, these are the Radflow 2.5 smooth body shocks, the long travel. Then here we have Dobinson springs in red. These are heavy load. Here's the part number for everybody interested. And we chose to go with the heavy load because later on we're gonna install a rear bumper with a tire carrier, and to convert those to those coil springs from the air springs, we have this Icon Vehicle Dynamics coil spring conversion kit. And then here I have a rubber insulator for the top of the springs, and this here is actually a Jeep WJ rear upper insulator for the springs, and it's actually a cheaper alternative to other kits on the market. Then we have the bump stops, the stack bump stops that we removed from the vehicle. And here we have a 3-inch drop kit for those bump stops to accommodate for the long travel shocks. So that's everything that we will install. So yeah, let's get to it. Okay guys, that's a wrap. We installed everything that we had for the GX. We installed the springs, shocks, spacers for bump stops, and brakes. We also have some things that we still have to work on, and that's the lower controls and track bar. We will make them adjustable to create the geometry, and we will make this a future product for the GX platform. Also look at the springs, the red really pops, and the size of those shocks, they are just massive. Everything looks great. I hope it's gonna perform just as well on trail. So, like I mentioned before, those are the wheels that we'll be mounting on our GX, and these are the TRD Pro wheels, and for that we also got OEM TRD Pro lug nuts. They are matte black to match the wheels. So let's slap those bad boys on and see how they look like. The Lexus is finally on all 4 wheels, and I think it looks awesome. The front sits just about right, and the back sits a little bit taller than we would like, but that's because there is no weight, and that will change soon once we put the bumper with the tire carrier on. And well, that's about it about the Lexus for this video. Let us know in the comments what would you like to see on the channel and your thoughts about the Lexus. Also, if you want to see more about this truck as well as other trucks, visit us on social media at Goliath Off-Road. And that's it. I guess I will see you in the next video.